Alright, let's do a little intro here. So, this is the first time you'll see me here on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to do a little pack opening with some stuff I've been grinding. Now, for about 1 or 2 years, I have been wanting to make some MLB the Show content. Now, I do have a full-time job, so this is kind of just something that I want to do for fun, because I do enjoy this game so much and play it so frequently. And, I've been trying to make about a video for 2 weeks now, but I've been trying to figure out things with microphones and how OBS works and all these other things. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So I'm showing you here the collection screen. Now, so far, I have just opened some free packs, still no money spent to this point, and with some of the stuff I've earned through the XP reward path and all that kind of stuff, and just using the companion app to buy some stuff on the market, is I've gone ahead and collected lots of the cheaper teams here. So I pulled Ronald, which helped me get the Braves done, and then when you look at the rest of the National League, is you can tell these are kind of the cheaper ones. So you got PCA in the Cubs, and he's about 10K. I earned Hunter Green through a 9-2 Battle Royale run, and that got me Hunter Green, so I went ahead and finished the Reds up. And then, so you can tell that I've got the cheaper collections done, ready to rock and roll there. If I were to click through some of these other teams, I don't have a ton of cards in there yet, like for the Mets or for the Phillies or for the Pirates. Obviously, the Dodgers are the big fish and probably will be for at least another 4 more years when it comes to MLB the Show collections. And that will definitely be some of the big fish we're targeting once we get to the actual pack opening. Obviously, your Marte, your Otani, your Skeens, your Lindor, your Soto, and then some of the step down guys like your Mason Miller for the Padres, any of the Phillies Diamonds. And we'll go ahead and make our way over to the American League. Now, low key, the American League Central is kind of a sneaky, expensive division this year. I mean, you got J-Ram here. He's about 150K. You got Scooble, who's 90. You got Bobby Witt, who's 100K-er. And then Byron Buxton is almost this year's American League center fielder, where he's not going to entirely break the bank at 40K, but I mean, obviously nobody will ever be Mike Trout except for Shohei Ohtani and Judge, at least in terms of price. But same thing here. Got all the cheap collections done. Your big boys in the American League, I just named off the Central. So just add in Judge, add in Cal, and then those step down guys like Seager, like Jordan, Gunner's even a step below them, and then Chapman of the American League. So that's a little collection check-in. I do like that they made lots of the new legends. The live series collection rewards, I thought that was pretty cool. Now, when we make our way over to the pack inventory, as you can see that I've got a nice little mishmash of packs here. So got these from just the variety of places you can earn packs in this game. Done some Conquest while I was doing Conquest. Most of my assorted programs are done, so I'm working on Team Affinity now. Done a couple BR runs, gone through the multiplayer program. As you can see, still holding on to a couple of these now and later packs, so there's a little treat with 9 of those. Now that we've kind of done the introduction, as we'll go ahead and start ripping. And the way I kind of like to go through packs, and this is a nice little opportunity to talk about these real quick, is I do think these jersey packs that you get from Team Affinity, I think they did a nice job with the jersey selections that they put in here this year. So that's pretty cool. Now, if you are absolutely reaming to get yourself the live series collection done, now I would go ahead and quick sell all of these, especially if you're someone like me. I mean, I'm going to pretty much use custom uniforms all year long, and I actually haven't gone and checked this, but I would imagine that you can quick sell these, since it says you can on this screen. And I mean, if you look at it, that every one of those packs is 3,000 or 4,000 stubs. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good value there. Got ahead and got this backpack from the Conquest map. All right, and now we're to the good stuff. So here we are with the actual packs, where we're getting cards. Now I already listed off the big fish that we're looking for. Any 90 plus, some of those lower tier 86s and 87s to get some collections done. And then typically the way I like to go through packs is I kind of like the more random it can be, the later I like it to be in the pack opening. So I'm going to start here with this one, and then I'll probably go on to the WBC packs, and then I'll rip 20 of the standards and then make my way into the St. Patrick's Day packs. So now I do kind of like to slow open my packs a little bit. Now when you've got a ton of them, obviously it's just worth it to just start hitting auto flip and get on with your day. But all right, let's move into these now and laters. And since we're here, and this is my first video, now I tried to make a video like this about a week ago, but like I said, I was really struggling with some of the technical sides of what's going on today, and that's alright. That's the nice thing about learning a new skill, is already I understand a couple of software programs better than I ever would had I never gotten started. The barrier to entry for stuff like this is lower than it's ever been, and there goes our second Diamond Stadium of the pack opening. Alright, let's go ahead and rip 20 of these standards. And the goal of that video I was trying to make a week ago during early access was going to just be my initial thoughts and feelings, 2 days into early access, and if I would have made that video then, my feelings would have been a little bit different than my feelings today. And that's I've got about 2 or 3 of the USA Central Conquest map strongholds left to complete, and I wasn't gonna do this pack opening until I finished it, and this is gonna bring me to one of my first cons, and I'll swing back to the cons at the end. But I got disconnected from a Conquest game, and that is just something that cannot happen in a video game in the big 2026. It just makes me think about back in the day. I used to play a lot of 2K with my brother, and our Wi-Fi was routed through the same thing as our home phone. And whenever the home phone would ring and we would be playing a domination game or something like that, is the home phone, you would hear it ring once and you'd get sad. You would hear it ring twice and you would look back at the game and it's still functioning. And then it would ring the third time and you would get disconnected from your game. Now, we've come a long way in terms of Wi-Fi and programming and video game design since then. So when I got disconnected from a Conquest game right before I started making this video, I needed to get some dopamine back. So I went ahead and I was like, all right, let's try and fire up this pack opening. Now, some of the things that are, I think, very good to this point in MLB the Show 26 are, I do think the gameplay feels really good. I mean, when you square the ball up, you hit it hard. When you miss the ball, you don't hit it very well. And now, baseball is baseball. Sometimes those weak ones go for hits, and sometimes it's a weak out, which is fine. I think they updated the ball physics a little bit. I think the ball feels very alive right now. When it plays off the wall, it looks great. I think with the average level of defense that you get in online play, like based on the card's attributes, I think they have introduced more hit types and that more contact results result in hits, which is something that I have been advocating for years and years and years and all that good stuff. So no luck through our first 40 standards there, so we're going to go ahead and jump into one of these World Baseball Classic Premier Packs. Now remember, you get 3 cards in this one. We're looking for no duplicates. Now this one is the no-sell pack you get from the Rewind program. Looking for 89s in here. And what else is good? Oh, so content-wise, I think they've got some good things going content-wise. And they said this during their streams prior to the release of MLB the Show. Oh my gosh, duplicates flying out of these right now. All right, there's a good one. That's interesting that the animation didn't run on Kondo there, because I don't have him yet, but that's a nice little add to the inventory. Is content-wise, I think they have made the grind less grindy. Team Affinity-wise, and it sounded like there was only going to be one Team Affinity program this year, that's fine. I mean, that opens up all of these legends. I mean, if you do the math, even if we just did one more drop, that opens up 30 more of these legends that are in the actual roster to get a card in a different unique place, and maybe they will adjust that later on. But I even like that you could do the moments and do a couple more stat missions, and then once you have both of the gold cards for each Team Affinity unlocked, in theory you could get all of Team Affinity done simply with those gold cards. One pitcher and one hitter, and that's all it would take, and you could get it all the way done. Another thing that I feel like people aren't really, I haven't heard anybody else mention, is I really like that they gave out lots of low-tier diamonds for some of your biggest names in the MLB right now. Like, I know the first card in either the XP Reward Path or the multiplayer program was an 85 Ketel Marte. I know there's an 85 Juan Soto early on, where I think that's pretty cool, because in games like these, you might not get to use a big fish like Ohtani or Judge until the All-Star break, depending on how your pack luck is and stuff like that. So the fact that even with the 2 biggest names in the MLB, they went ahead and threw us those cards in the pre-order pack, I thought that was pretty cool. And then obviously if you didn't pre-order, you can pick those up on the market for much cheaper than their live series. Alright, the packs have been cold. I was ripping a little quicker than I thought, but that's alright. No live series diamonds in this set, but while I was watching the screen, I did see lots of new pop up on these cards, which means the inventory is getting filled out. So far, the biggest hit has been Kansuke Kondo of the WBC Team Japan, and we've got our fingers crossed here that we can get our biggest rip of the day. Looking for that special insert Mike Trout, and we did not hit it, but that's all right. Gonna go ahead and pick up O'Hearn out of this pack. He's one of the best, and I'm out of stuff to do for this video, but this was an awesome first attempt, and hopefully we can get some more pack luck next time.